Hi everyone, sportsbookreview.com, I'm Flash, and today it's Champions League best bets. We've been looking forward to this since December. I've got Martin Green and I've got Alex. Great times, but not if you're a Man City fan, lads. 2-year ban, €30 million fine, but they're in court today, or they've gone to UEFA today. Martin, I'll come to you first. Do you think they get it overturned?
I don't think they will. I think they might have it reduced slightly to one season, but still, they clearly appear to have cooked the books somewhat. And, it seems like a fair punishment. The financial fair play rules are there for a reason, and it's financial doping if they've gained an unfair advantage over their rivals. We've thought that teams like Man City have been doing it for a long time, and it sends out a really good message to the rest of world football if they get this punishment, because it's going to cost them and it's going to level the playing field a bit. So, yeah, I'm interested to see what happens.
We say level playing field. Well, everyone in world football said that PSG. How have they done it, Alex?
Yeah, it's a tough question. I'm not a person, a financial advisor, or I was never in that field. So I don't know what is happening there. But yes, I saw also on Twitter that there is this discussion. How did they do, and why cannot Manchester City escape with this right now? And I totally agree with Martin. I think that they will have it reduced at 1 year, and they will have some problems because I heard also some rumors that some of their players might go to their lawyers and say, "Excuse me, the mutual agreement was not this. You understand? If you cannot do your homework and we get banned, I will go for free from here. I will go as a free agent." So I don't know what will happen after all with Manchester City, but if right now Liverpool are 20 and something points on the first place between them and Manchester City. If Manchester City will lose a lot of their players and also Pep Guardiola will leave the club, I think that Klopp will be, will be very happy, because from now on, he will surely 2-3 seasons from now win the Premier League.
Yeah, some people are
things are complicated.
Some people are even talking about maybe they'll settle for transfer bans and things like that as well. But listen, we've got to keep a close beady eye on it. Let's kick off this week. First game, I'm going to come to you, Alex. Atletico Madrid at 3.8, which is plus 280. The draw 3.35, which is plus 235. Liverpool 2.37, plus 137. What a game this is. Tight game, but Liverpool the holders.
Yes, Liverpool the holders, and let's say that this is a two-legged match. So the second match will be played in UK on the Liverpool stadium. So this is a tricky match. The first leg at Atlético Madrid with Simeone, the most defensive coach in Europe, right? If I can say that. With a brilliant defense, but they still lost some of their key players like Diego Godin, who absolutely insane how he transformed in bad at Inter, because I don't like what he's playing with Antonio Conte with Inter Milan. So yeah, I think that it will be a close match, closer than the odds suggest. I was looking for under 2.5 goals in the match. But yesterday the price was at 1.72. Today the price dropped at 1.61 for under 2.5 goals in the match. I don't think that Klopp will force the first match, because he knows that there is always the second leg, that he can produce a miracle, or he can play the qualification in the second leg. So I'm expecting a low scoring match. I was thinking also under 2 goals or under 1.5 goals. But I think that yes, everyone will be happy with the draw. After all, this is just a lean. This is the only match I don't have an official play for. This is just a lean, a draw at 3.4 and under 1.5 goals in the match at 3. 3.0.
3.0, and that's under under 1.5, you say?
Yes.
Okay. Martin, I always say, and I end up not doing it, but I always think that there's always draws in the first leg of this knockout stage because everyone wants to be in the game come second leg. And I think Atletico Madrid are going to be just as happy with Liverpool to basically get away from home with a draw.
Yeah, you're probably right. I think Liverpool would definitely be keen for a draw just because it gives them a chance to take Atletico Madrid back to Anfield, which we know is a fortress. They've won all their games there this season, destroyed Barcelona there 4-0 last time around. I think Liverpool will prevail over two legs. I've been saying all season that they're my favourite to win the Champions League again. I think they'll do it now that they can take a foot off the pedal a bit in the Premier League and really concentrate on this competition. But yeah, the first game, you would expect it to be a pretty tentative affair. It's going to be a bit emotional for some of these Liverpool players going back to the scene of last year's Champions League final triumph. But Atletico Madrid, very, very strong at home. They've only lost once at their stadium all season. Despite their struggles on the road, it is a bit of a fortress as well, Wanda Metropolitano. So I do think they'll cancel each other out. I think it will be a tight, cautious affair. I'm going to go for the draw at half-time, though, at 2.1, which is plus 110 on the US odds. I think maybe Liverpool might get a winner in the second half, but I can see it being a very cagey opening 45 minutes.
Yeah, I was very interested. And Alex, obviously I'm going to go to Martin for the next game. But if you can have a look at draw half-time in the remaining matches, because I've wrote that down for all four games that I think could be draw at half-time. So I'm totally in agreement with you, Martin. Draw half-time for me at 2.1. But I'm happy to have the draw as well at 3.35. I just see both teams. And listen, I wouldn't put anyone off the 0-0, neither, so bringing in Alex's under 1.5. Martin, this should be goal crazy. So this where people could come unstuck. Dortmund 2.95, which is plus 195. Draw 4.0 plus 300. PSG 2.35, which is plus 135. Where are you going?
Yeah, I think people might be a bit worried about coming unstuck. I know that Dortmund drew 0-0 with Barcelona here in the group stage, but over the course of the season, I think Dortmund have realised that they're pretty poor at the back. Mats Hummels lacks the pace that he used to have, and they can really get caught out, especially with a dynamic forward line like PSG have. So I think the onus is going to be on Borussia Dortmund to come out and attack this PSG team. Just to look at the recent form just suggests that we're going to see goals. Dortmund 19 goals in their last 5 games. PSG 21 in that time. They drew 4-4 with Amiens last time out. Dortmund just beat Frankfurt 4-0, but before that they lost 4-3 to Bayer Leverkusen. So this is a Dortmund team very, very strong going forward with Sancho, with Erling Braut Haaland next to him, but poor at the back. Paris Saint-Germain are more solid defensively, but they're the away team and they do concede goals. So, yeah, it has to be the old Alex classic for me of both teams to score and over 2.5 goals. Not huge odds, minus 160, but I still think there's enough there for me to go with that.
Minus 160, so what's that going to be, like 1.65 or?
Yeah, 1.63, I believe.
Okay, excellent. No worries at all. Alex, where do you see this game going?
Yeah, it has goals written all over it. I mean, I don't know how they did it to keep a clean sheet last weekend. Dortmund, this is rarely something that Dortmund is doing. I don't know how they did it. Eintracht lost so many opportunities to score in that match. Yeah, I have many bets for this. I think that I have 4 in total. So I'm going like that. I'm going goal before the 23rd minute at 1.83. So doesn't matter who scores that. I see a fast goal in the match. So before the 23rd minute, I see a goal after the 78th minute in the game. So between 78 and 90, the final whistle at 1.83. I'm seeing Dortmund to score over 1.5 goals in the match at 1.83. I'm sure that they will go all in because they know how good the PSG are at home, and they will not stay to waste any single chance in this first leg. A little bit worries me because they are without Marco Reus, but they showed that they are good because Guerreiro is doing an amazing second half to the season right now, and I'm going with half unit. Both teams to score in both halves at 7.5. This is my take on this match. And you wanted me to see what is the draw at halftime is at 2.5 for you.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm going for that again. I mean, I think the Alex Classic at 1.63, but I can definitely see this being 0-0 or 1-1 at half-time. Obviously, both teams are scoring both halves at 7.5 for half a unit. And we're cheering that on for definite. Obviously, the Alex Classic at 1.63 from Martin. You would think it's safe, but I'm just thinking that the game may well be cagey. And Dortmund going into Paris, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Dortmund do a number on them away from home and be a little bit more careful at home. But I'm definitely taking the 2.5. In fact, I'm going to take draw at half-time. So again, Alex, if you've got the half-time draw, or Martin can do it. Well, I'm going to come to you, Alex. Atalanta 1.81, minus 123, draw 4.1, which is plus 310, and Valencia 4.95, which is plus 395. I think Valencia, they're the value and maybe double chance, Alex.
They're the value, but can you trust Valencia? I think that I recorded a podcast with Matt, our guest from the Premier League Panthers, 1 week ago, and we talked about this match, and I was saying that Valencia, I think that they are the most unpredictable side in the remaining last 16 in the Champions League. I think that is very, very tough to predict Valencia's matches. The price for Atalanta 1 week ago was 1.92, and I took it that time. Right now, Atalanta are priced at 1.7. So that is not what I was expecting. They are huge favorites to win this match. And given their home form, they slipped a little bit in mid-January, but they are back with 3 consecutive wins if we are putting also a friendly match here. But they destroyed Torino. They smashed Fiorentina on the road. They won against AS Roma. Teams with decent quality. For example, AS Roma, I would already have it on the same level with Valencia, if you ask me. Valencia, very, very poor lately, and they will also miss some of their players. Gabriel and Garay are one is red carded, Gabriel, and Garay is injured. So, but I'm not playing Atalanta at that price. I prefer to play both teams to score at 1.7. Because I think that Valencia will find the back of the net. Because Atalanta tends to concede. It doesn't matter if they're playing at home or away. Because they know how to attack. They are going all in with the head in front, you know. And they are always leaving a lot of gaps at the back. And Valencia have some great attacking players who can take advantage of that. So both teams to score for me at 1.87. 1.7, sorry.
Cheers, Alex. Martin.
It's an interesting game because I've been following Valencia a lot this season, and they are in poor form. Like Alex said, they're very unpredictable. We know that they played pretty poorly in the Europa League last season. Arsenal hammered them, but then it's hard to tell with Serie A teams as well because they often flatter to deceive in the Champions League and in the Europa League as well. Also, Atalanta aren't playing at their usual home stadium. This game's at the San Siro because their ground isn't up to UEFA regulations. But I just think this is their chance to gain a foothold in the tie. If they're going to qualify, it's going to have to be at home. They're going to struggle at the Mestalla. Like Alex said, problems at the back for Valencia. They're pretty strong in midfield with Kondogbia, but they do have weaknesses at the back. Atalanta are just phenomenal going forward. Duvan Zapata, Josip Ilicic, they've got some really talented forwards. They play full throttle football. They're gonna really go for this Valencia team. I'm going for the home win, 1.83, which is minus 120.
Okay, and what price did you get my half-time draw, Martin?
2.3.
2.3. Lovely. There you go. Half-time draw. I want 4 0-0s, 4 1-1s. Don't really care. Martin, Spurs 2.5 at plus 150. Draw 3.6, which is plus 260. Then RB Leipzig at 3.0, which is plus 200. Spurs have been dodgy as you like. We know there's no Harry Kane. We know they can't control a game. We know it's like a basketball game. And Leipzig, they love a basketball game.
Yeah, Leipzig are a very dangerous team. Timo Werner going forward. Patrick Schick is in good form. I think they can go there and get a result at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I've written a preview of all of these, of the round of football over at SBR. This was the one game I left off of it because I'm a little bit unsure of how it's going to go. But I would stick half a unit on Leipzig, draw no bet. You can get odds of 2.1 on that, which is plus 110. And it has to be an Alex Classic for me on this one as well. What's that, 20 to 23? So
1.83.
Calculate that. So minus 115 or 1.87 on both teams to score and over 2.5 goals. That looks good because Leipzig often play 3 at the back. Spurs have got pacey wingers like Son Heung-min who can get in behind them and hurt them. Tottenham concede goals for fun. They haven't got Harry Kane, but I still think they'll get on the score sheet. So, yeah, I'll split my stake, go half of it on Leipzig, draw no bet, and half on both teams to score and over 2.5 goals. Should be a good game, this.
Yeah, good game, Alex. Leipzig, very dangerous opponents.
Should be an amazing game, to be honest. If you look, you guys are 100% right. The value is on RB Leipzig right now. Let's not forget that Kane is missing, but let's not also forget that Son is in absolutely superb shape. So the guy, I don't know, I was just reading some stats in the morning. So he netted 9 goals in his previous 10 Champions League starts and 6 goals in his last 5 matches across all competitions for Tottenham. I think that he's the best replacement for Harry Kane, and 2.2 for him anytime goal scorer looks absolutely amazing in my opinion. But I'm all in here, 1 unit play on the Alex Classic at 1.87 with Timo Werner and Schick and Patrick Schick. I think that this might be a nice gold fest. Maybe a draw at halftime at 2.3 flash.
2.3 is the draw at half-time. That's exactly where I'm going again. I'm thinking to myself, I'm happy to have all 4 of these games tight. I'm happy to have them all tight for maybe an hour. So as long as they're a draw at half-time, I don't care what goes on. I can put my feet up and just enjoy. Martin, do you have a favourite of the 4 games?
In terms of probably not in terms of viewing pleasure, but I do think that draw at half time, Liverpool versus Atletico Madrid, from a betting perspective, looks good. And for the rest of them, I'm just looking to see plenty of goals. I do think the Alex Classic in the Dortmund versus PSG game looked good as well. But yeah, my favourite would be draw half time, Atletico Madrid versus Liverpool.
Okay, and Alex, your favourite?
Banker for this week should be goal after 78th minute in Dortmund versus PSG at 1.83.
Okay, that's brilliant. Okay, well, we're going to get Chef Michael on now. Thanks, Martin, for Champions League Best Bets. We'll see you again next week when we go through the other games. Now we're going to go Europa League, but before we do, press that button, subscribe and like. Make sure that if you do ring that bell, subscribe. We will then let you know. We will notify you and let you know when we're coming on So we'll be sitting here waiting for you. Let's hope you're sitting there waiting for us. Now we're going to go into these Europa games. And again, two-legged. These teams need to make sure that they still go into the second leg, Alex, in the tie.
I wanted to say that you guys should know that Flash is behind the scenes and he's pressing the button. If you press the bell button, he's behind and he gets everyone notified when we are going live. Yeah, no, I'm joking. YouTube does that, but they do a great job. They always announce me when Flash is going live. And because I love his face, I must press the play button there. Yeah, it's an interesting round of fixtures in Europe. We love Europe, Chef Michael and myself. You know that. We are doing an amazing job every season here, and we are trying to have the same record as in Serie A. I think I know that it will be difficult, but at least we are trying. This is our goal, you know.
Without a doubt. Chef Michael, we now know that the Champions League sides enter the fray. You've always said that you fancy one of the Champions League sides to go and win the Europa League. And here I see, halfway down my list, Inter Milan.
Yeah, it's a little tricky with these Champions League teams that came down. When they were first came down, I had Salzburg.
Okay, I think Chef Michael's gone all stuck on me. But Alex, we'll start with you. CFR Cluj 4.15 plus 315. Draw 3.62, which is plus 262. And Sevilla 1.99, which is minus 101.
You know, if this game was played before the winter break in Romania, because in Romania we have like 2.5 months of winter break, and you can see that there is a huge difference how the boys are playing now and how they were playing before the winter break. Nothing is the same. If you're asking me in December, at the end of November, I would say that a draw in this match or a double chance on the home side on Cluj, on the Romanian reigning champs, has value. But after what I'm seeing from Cluj in this second half to the season, after the winter break, nothing is going on that direction. Everything is going on that Sevilla win. Sevilla, by far the better side. If we are looking, yes, you will tell me they are struggling right now in La Liga. They have a really poor period in their domestic league, but still they have plenty of firepower there with Ocampos, just an amazing transfer last year, with Suso right now, with Eder Banega, Luke de Jong also on the bench there, and many other players. Nolito is one of the best players I've ever seen playing. He has so much quality, but he's let's say he's not consistent, but if Sevilla will catch a good day, I think that they might even win by 2-3 goals difference. So this is why I'm going with a straight win, still value at 1.95 minus 1.99 as you are writing on the screen. I found it at 1.95. This is why you must shop around for your odds on sbrodds.com. But yeah, I think that there is the value on the away team.
Okay, Chef Michael's back with us. Chef Michael, Roma 1.5, which is minus 200. Draw 4.85, which is plus 385. And Gent 7.5 plus 650. Home win, but how do you get the value, Chef Michael?
I'm staying away from the outrights on this one. I think this will be a pretty entertaining match. Both sides can obviously put the ball in the back of the net, but something's not right with Roma. As we've seen over the Serie A season, they've lost 4 of the last 5, and they got a draw in there. So just something's not clicking right in there. Roma, they barely qualified past their group, 1 point ahead of Gladbach, and they could have won either way. But they scored most of their points, scored the most points in their group, and they conceded the less. So they have that looking out for them going against this Gent side. That's they finished top of their group, and they also put in the most goals with 11. So I think goals are on the menu here. Gent are dealing with some key injuries. DiPatrio and Roman Yamanchak, both out with injuries. I think both teams are going to find the back of the net pretty easily here. 1.77 for both teams to score.
Okay, we're going to move on. Eintracht 2.1, plus 110. The draw 3.9, which is plus 290. And Salzburg 3.5, plus 250. Alex, entertainment all the way.
Absolutely, entertainment all the way. If Haaland, Erling Haaland and Minamino were still with Salzburg, I would really go for an away win or with the draw no bet option, and I would think that Salzburg can have a deep run in this competition. But after losing two of their key players and also others with they are selling players with a lot of money, this Salzburg side, and I think that they are doing great business. I think that only this winter they won around 110 million euros for Austrian Bundesliga team. This is huge. This is absolutely huge. Yeah, I'm seeing goals on the card. Even without the two players that I mentioned, I think that Salzburg are the type of team that will play their chance with a great coach who is giving them motivational speeches, also at halftime, also before. They have that fighting spirit, which I love with the team in football. Eintracht disappointingly scoreless last weekend against Dortmund, but they kicked off the second half to their season with great results. I think that they won 7, minus Dortmund's game. I think that they won 7 out of 9 points in 3 matches. They are also a scoring machine. They were just unlucky not to find the back of the net against Dortmund, but I think that this will happen right now because Salzburg are away and also they are struggling defensively. So Alex, classic here, both teams to score and over 2.5 goals in the match at 1.8 for me.
Excellent. Okay, Chef Michael, AZ Alkmaar 2.16, which is plus 116. A draw at 3.6, which is plus 260. And LASK at 3.58, which is plus 258. Where are you going with this?
Another entertaining match here. Should see a lot of goals. AZ Alkmaar, they score a lot of goals. They put them in bunches. They're top scoring team in their groups despite finishing behind United. Scored 15 goals in that group. And in their league, they've kept 7 clean sheets in the last 10. But Gent, LASK is a similar situation. They finished at the top of their group, also having the most goals, 11 goals, and conceded only 4. But I think this is going to be a open match, entertaining. Both teams to score and over 2.5. At 2.1, it's going to be pretty exciting to see these two battle out over 2 legs.
Okay,
we've got goals in both games.
Alex Classic at 2.1 with AZ Alkmaar, who can score goals, and LASK, who just do not lay down. Alex, we're going to come to you. FC Copenhagen 3.13, which is plus 213. Draw 3.25, plus 225. Celtic 2.5, plus 150. That tells me that this is wide open. But I like the under 1.5 goals, Alex.
Yes, I don't know what to say about that under 1.5 goals. What I know is that Copenhagen just restarted their domestic league. Their first competitive match was played 3 days ago. This is the first competitive match since December 16, and they lost it to Esbjerg. If I pronounce it correct, I hope I did. We have on the other side Celtic, who are playing week in and week out. I think that there is absolutely great value on this away side, but just to have things clear here, because we don't want to risk, we will take Celtic with the draw no bet option at 1.71. So in case of a draw, we take our money back from that bet.
Okay, draw no bet. I think 0-0, or maybe we're hoping now for a Celtic 1-0 win, because I think under 1.5, I think this game will be totally dull, and Celtic will look forward to getting Copenhagen back to Parkhead. Ludogorets 5.1 plus 410 draw 3.95, which is plus 294. And Inter Milan at 1.76 minus 131. Chef Michael, Inter Milan coming off a tough weekend.
Yeah, it was a pretty tough weekend for them. I just don't see how they should have any problems with Ludogorets side. I'm still confused on how they even were managed to qualify to that group. They lost their final 2 games, had 2 draws. It was just a weird situation for them to advance just 1 point ahead of Ferencváros, however you want to say that. Ludogorets, however, they were busy over the break, bringing in a bunch of guys back from loan. I guess they're getting ready to try to make a push in their league in Europa League, but they haven't played any competitive football since early December. I mean, you got to figure in the rust, or are they going to be rested? I'm going to go ahead and lean on they're going to be pretty rusty. They had their first game back. Over the weekend, and it was a very narrow win. But I think Inter Milan, I think they're going to push forward. It kind of confused me last week. They brought out their first team for that cup match, and then same players came out against Lazio. I got to think they're going to be kind of tired, but I think Ludogorets is not going to be able to keep these guys out of the back of the net. So I got Inter Milan -1 at 2.35.
2.35. Seems a sensible way to go, Alex.
Yeah, I'm going just for a straight win, and this is also my banker for this Europa League, Inter Milan at 1.76. If this was a match from the group phase, when all the big names like Inter Milan or Arsenal or anyway, Inter Milan are coming from Champions League. But if they were playing in the group stage in Europa League, I think that we would see a lot of changes in the starting 11, because they are always going through, but with many changes, and we've seen that a lot of times happening also this season, also last season. But Conte is here for trophies, and I think that this Europa League right now, Inter are one of the best remaining sides in this last 32, and they have an amazing draw against Ludogorets. A decent team, if you ask me, in Eastern Europe, but a team who is struggling all the time against big names. I don't think that there is a possible way for Conte to rest many of his key players. I think that we'll see Eriksen, who didn't play a lot of minutes in his matches, only, 16, 30 minutes in the last 4 matches. I think that we'll see him from the starting 11. I think that we will see Lukaku and Lautaro Martinez too. Barella or Sensi, one of them should be there in the middle. They have a tough match. Of course, all the matches in Italy are tough. They have a tough match at the weekend against Sampdoria. But still, they will go for the win in Bulgaria. So 1.76 for me, I think that huge. This is why I'm taking it as my banker, and I included it also on my Europa League parlay.
Okay, I'm going to come to you, Alex, with Bayer Leverkusen 1.95 minus 105, draw 3.7, which is plus 270, and FC Porto 4.15, which is plus 315.
Yeah, but I think that we should see goals here. Bayer Leverkusen are on fire, if I can say that. They are scoring goals for fun, like I like to say, but they also concede many times. They had a dramatic match against Union Berlin last weekend. Thank God that it came as a winner, because it was my last match on the Bundesliga parlay at 4.28, and we won that. And that was also our banker for last week. Both Radek and myself, we went for that. So an amazing last minute goal, 94th minutes from Belarabi. But they struggle big time at the back. And Porto are coming here to win. Porto are a great team, and they can do some damage if Leverkusen are not more careful at the back. This is why I am clearly seeing over 2.5 goals. Simple as that here, without both teams to score, at 1.9. So just the over 2.5 goals, great value on that. If you play the Alex Classic, I think that you can get 2.2, something there.
Okay, my European trap of the week is Bayer Leverkusen at 1.95 at home to Porto. I think Porto do not get beat. They get something out of the game. I would not want to be with Leverkusen. Happy to be with Leverkusen last week and the week before, but this week they have got the stamp of the European trap on them. Chef Michael, Olympiacos 3.16, which is plus 216, draw 366, which is plus 266, and Arsenal at 2.37, plus 137. And I say to you, Chef Michael, that Arsenal are suited more to Europa League than they are Premier League at the moment.
I think you could say that when they had Unai Emery. Unai Emery was the, I guess, king of Europa League. But I think this Arsenal team, they're just now starting to find their footing with Arteta. I mean, that showed the other day against Newcastle. Took them a while to get going, though. Till that first goal in the second half, they were pretty sluggish and couldn't really find their way. But this Olympiacos team at home is a juggernaut. I mean, at home in Greece, they just don't lose. Their last home, they've only lost one game at home, and that was in the Champions League to Bayern Munich. And I think with that leaky back line that Arsenal is known to have, especially away from home, I think Olympiacos can do some damage here. I think you got to figure Arsenal's got to score at least probably 3 goals to go into Greece and get a result here, because Olympiacos is going to score some goals. And last time Olympiacos gave up more than 2 goals was once again to Bayern Munich. They've kept 12 clean sheets this season and to keep things airtight at home. I can see Olympiacos getting a result here. I don't think Arsenal is going to go in there and get a win. So I'm going to take a pretty safe approach here and go Olympiacos, draw no bet at 2.2.
2.2.
I thought both teams to score was an absolute moral in that game.
You know,
sorry?
You know that they've lost their best player, Podence. They sold them to Wolves in the Premier League. I think that that is a great transfer for Wolves, and he was the goal-scoring guy for Olympiacos. And I think that I agree more with Flash here, with Arsenal going to win this away from home, because they really think that they can win Europa League at 2.35. I think that there is huge value on that away win. But because it's not official play, I will cheer for Olympiacos in this one, because we are in for profit, and I will support Chef Michael on that one.
Okay, Chef Michael, if you can find me a banker, I'll come to you at the end. Alex, finish us off. Wolfsburg 1.63, which is minus 160. Draw 4.15, which is plus 315. And Malmo 6.3, which is plus 530.
Yeah, I really don't understand how this Malmo side qualified in the knockout stages. But if you think about it, they had a really pretty bad, let's say, good for them group of stage with the Copenhagen, with Dynamo Kiev, and very, very, very poor Lugano side. And we did a lot of money with that Lugano side in the group stage. The win against Dynamo Kiev, the 4-3, was an absolute cracker for Malmo. That is the match where they qualified further in the competition. But right now, they are without competitive matches since... Oh my God! Since the last Europa League match back in December, 12th of December. So just friendlies and one cup match, A0 against a poor side in Sweden. So Wolfsburg are a really good Bundesliga side, a decent one, not a really good one, who can do a number on Malmo right now and solve the qualification issue from the first leg. So I'm going Wolfsburg and over 1.5 goals in the match at 1.95 because I really think that Wolfsburg can score at least 2 goals on their own against Malmo, who are conceding a lot normally and who haven't played a competitive match since December 12th.
Yeah, that was my banker, Alex. I'd already wrote that down. Wolfsburg and over 1.5 goals in the game is 1.95, and that is my banker. And where's your banker, Chef Michael?
I'm going to go back to the well here. Inter Milan -1, 2.35.
Okay, we love that. Okay, gentlemen, we'll see you on Wednesday when we go with Serie A. Alex, I'll see you just prior when we go with Bundesliga. And prior to that, we've got La Liga and Mr. Sizzle Mode himself. Number Juan will be kicking us off. You take care, gentlemen.
See you guys.
Thank you.
Just to give you a little lowdown, we've got La Liga, Bundesliga, Serie A, and then on Thursday, we have the Premier League punters. And if the result goes well today, someone's going to be sitting in profit after being 18.7 units down. See you soon.